Hello and welcome to Walker Tea Review. I'm Jason Walker here with a tea that is the first tea of the season. It's always exciting and great to be able to taste newly arrived teas and get them out and find out what they are just as they're arriving. So what I'm going to do is I've got my tasting cup here. I'm going to scoop out enough to cover the bottom surface. This is approximately 3 ounce in size as far as the volume. If it was empty and filled with nothing but water, I need just a little scoop more. Now if you were the professional technical tasters, they're going to get out their scale and they're going to put in a precise amount, say 5 grams, 3 grams of tea, something like that. Water's been brought to an early boil, so it started to rumble. And I want enough water so that the water rests just beneath the rim, the bottom of my little U-shaped pouring opening right here. I don't know if try to get that a little visible. Lid with the hole positioned over here towards the handle, so that when I turn it over, the air flows through as the water comes out. And it gives you a nice smoother pour. Let me introduce this tea, talk a little bit about it first. This is from Lochan. This is a Rohini. This is the FTGFOP flower, so fancy tippy golden flowery orange Pecco first flush. So that's a 2014 tea. You can go to the Lochan website and get this tea directly from them. 50 grams available for $8 US. When I last checked. Now, one thing you want to consider, different areas of Darjeeling, different estates will have different outcomes as far as tea goes. For example, my upcoming harvest report, I talk about how Rohini is in the Kurseong Valley or district or area, Kurseong South, and they had different levels of rainfall than other sections of Darjeeling, and that can be a factor and input into the overall quality of the leaf. But you have to read the report to find out what people are saying about how that rainfall is affecting the tea. All right, so I'm going to go ahead now and talk a little about this tea and look at the dry leaf, wet leaf, and liquor. Starting off here with the dry. Now, it's light. It's a light aroma. It's faint at this point, fainter at this point, but it does have a bit of a very gentle baked type of note. And also, there's a bit of the fruity component coming out more, and this is more musket grape type of smell, or the taste of a musket grape if that were a smell. So those are the initial impressions there. I'm going to scoop out a little bit, have a look at these leaves. Now these leaves are, depending on when a tea is harvested and how it's processed, a Darjeeling can have bits of 3 colors. It can have the white of the tip, the rust or the brown, anywhere from a red, brown in that area, to a green. This one is largely in that white to green of the 3. Now I get some of the white, meaning there are silvery tips here. I get the green colors. There is a bit of a darker green / green brown present here and there, but the dominant colors are still green, being the first, silvery, meaning that there's quite a bit of tip here, and then brown. They're green brown being the third. So I'm going to, before I put these back in, let me pick up a leaf here. Individual leaf on this particular case. Let me shake this off. Looks like a leaf and bud here, possibly. Let me pull one of these silvery tips. It's more than one curled together. Let me see if I can loosen them apart. I do see an individual bud in there, and then I see a leaf separate. So I'll be looking for more in the wet leaf. Ideally, you often want to check for leaf and bud together in the same connected unit. Otherwise, you can have a leaf or leaves, and from one plucking in the day, and then later on, oh, we didn't find enough, so let's throw in some needles to kind of balance this out. That's something that can be done. I don't want to use that. That can be done to kind of make a tea look more appealing as you are mixing and blending together leaves from separate pluckings. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to pour. Now, if you've never seen a tasting set in use, this could be helpful to know. You want to hold your lid in place. This is the bowl or cup that usually comes with the tasting cup. So you want to be able to pour it to the side, and then often, if it's done right, it will rest like so. The base of the steeping cup here, and the lid are held in place here on the bowl, just like so. And then you can give a nice shake, get out those last few drops, because the last of the bottom drops, of course, are often more intense in color and flavor and aroma. So you don't want to leave those in your cup here. Also, you don't want a lot of water in here sitting and potentially continuing to steep the leaves. But I'm also, well, before I do anything further, I do want to give this a smell. Nicer, richer aromas coming out now, of course. So you do get the muscat grape smells coming out. You get a bit of a spicy spice type of element, not hot spice, but this is more like clove. More like a clove type of smell, an allspice smell, maybe something in that range. But it's folded in. It's kind of underneath the muscat smell. So it's still sweet, fruity with a nice kind of sweet spice smell underneath. Now, to look at the leaves, tasting cup is nice as a display or for display purposes, because you can shake those leaves out and let them rest on top of the inside of your lid there. Turn the lid there. Now, looking at these leaves, of course, they've brightened up and they've become fairly more consistent in their greenness. You do have some leaves here and there that had a bit more oxidation, like this one. This one's nearly very even, relatively evenly brown compared to a lot of these leaves that are still more of a greenish color. Leaf here, for example, 2 inches or so, and with some of the tip broken off, the top of the leaf there broken off. Looking for sets. Still see some needles separate here, another separate needle. Looking for pairs of leaves. Here is a leaf, making sure that's still connected, leaf and bud set, so there are leaf and bud sets in here as well. Another one that is a leaf and bud set. So, some individual needles, some individual leaves, and some leaf and bud sets. Now, I am going to briefly pour this into my pitcher so that the liquor can be seen a little bit more easily. Looking at a tea, of course, through glass compared to sitting in a white porcelain bowl will affect the deepness, the darkness of the color of the liquor. But for consistency's sake, I'm going to leave it like this and look at that light, kind of a golden honeyed type of color, maybe a thinner, lighter honey type of color there. So nice look to it. Swirl. Still those muscat, grapey smells, a little bit of that tomato vine, tomato stem kind of smell in there as well. Faint traces of the clove type aspect still there too. Give that a pour. This is a different cup than I usually use, but I should still get similar results. brisk in its its astringency. Tomato vine is more of a dominant tomato stem. That kind of element is coming out strongly here. There is a bit of the muscat grape skin, red glow grape somewhere in there. That's an aroma, and it's lighter, and it hits more at the front and travels kind of up into your nose. I don't get it so much in the aftertaste. I don't get it so much as the tea swirls around. I'm looking for aftertaste now. A bit of that, having eaten grape skin. There's the tannic element there. It's the dominant component here right now. Perhaps a bit of the clove allspice sweetness coming out, so ever so slightly. What else? Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Looking at this tea compared to other Darjeelings, different. Every season is going to tell a bit of a different story. But if you look at this one, and I have to look at this one right now compared to previous seasons, compared to kind of the span of Darjeeling first flushes, a little bit less nuance, a little bit less of a fuller profile, a little bit narrower profile that would be. So I would give this one, I would probably give this one an 88. So you want to come back to Walker Tea Review again, subscribe to become a member so you can read more about the harvest reports and what teas are expected to perform in what ways for in the spring harvest of 2014. You want to subscribe to Walker Tea Review on my email newsletter so that these reviews can come directly into your inbox as well, and find out all of these and more, especially about upcoming teas for 2014 at Walker Tea Review.